Cultural Boy. If you subscribe, comment, like, and share. And if you do subscribe, hit a notification bell in the top right-hand corner. So every time I release a video, you get a notification, I get a view. Sharing's caring, it helps my channel grow. Also, follow me on Instagram. It's living_in_LDN. It's all lowercase. So give your boy a follow because we're nearly at 8,000. I think we're just going to stay at 7,500. No? Fuck it. How are you, people? How are you? I've missed ya. Did you miss me? Come here, give me a cuddle. Give me a fucking cuddle, you slags. I missed you guys, but I had to take a well-needed break. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Shout out to everyone who's here earlier. I know, Alien. I know. Apologies. Shout out to you, my boy. Shout out to you. Hey, Alien, I'm going to make a crypto group after this. I'm getting you back in. How about that? I'm going to get the boys back in. Sorry about all that shit. Anyway, where else? Hey, shout out to living in Luton. I living in Luton. Why are you causing trouble for? Why are you causing trouble for, mate? To be fair, your name's living in Luton. So, like living in London, you like to talk and you like to find things out. And you like to ask the right questions living in Luton. I like that. So I'm tucking myself in last night. I got my pajamas on. I'm about to get in bed. I got my hot water bottle. I'm watching a bit of Davin G's live. What's going on, Abby Brown? Vicky P, baby girl. How are you, girl? Missed you too, man. But anyway, so I'm in bed now. It's about 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. I put on Davin G. Shout out to Davin G. He's back. And he's doing lives. And he seems like he's in a real good place, you know. So shout out to Davin G. Because he's been keeping me entertained. I ain't even jumped on YouTube. I'll explain why in a bit. I'm explaining now. Yeah. So I'm watching Davin G. Living in Luton's like, where's living in London? And then they're talking about where I could be and all the other shit. And I'm like, don't say my name. You already said it once. He said it again. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Dolly, these guys are talking, you know. I had to get out the glasses, dust them off. I had to say, you know what? If he says my name one more time, just one more time, I'm coming back. And the motherfucker said it. He was like, living in London. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're back. We are back, mate. Davin G, he's in a good place. He seems proper. You know what I'm saying? He seems like he's just found himself again. But Darren, you asked where I've been, where I've gone to. I was chatting shit about everyone, and then all of a sudden I've just gone zoom. Well, I went zoom because you fuckers left me, didn't ya? You all left me. You, Marv, Sean Atwood, James English. You left me with these cunts to deal with, and it was just not. It was not doing it for me. It was not inspiring my artistic flow. It was killing my artistic flow. But now you're back, yeah, and I watched a bit. I've been watching a few of your lives, mate. I've been watching a few of your lives. You missed a trick, I think, Dow. You missed 200 grand. Because Saturn tells me, yeah, how you was talking on your live, that you knew the name of the guy that they wanted. You should have rung up the old Bill, brother, and been like, you should have been telling them, mate. You could have got yourself 200 grand. Anyway, they call that fucking geezer from Liverpool. But before we get into that, should we have a little talk about Davin G quickly? All right. You know me, you learn, you think, and belief. So as I'm growing, thinking, and learning now, yeah, I'm like, Darren G, as I'm watching him the last couple of days, I'm thinking about his situation. See the thing about Darren G, Marvin, James English, Sean Atwood. James and Sean, they get good guests on, so it's always good to watch and all the other stuff, yeah? But Marvin Herbert, yeah, and Darren G are like top alpha males. You know what I'm saying? So, so as they're talking, I can connect with it. I can connect. Hey, Darren G, you know what else I'm not happy with you about, mate? Yeah? You give me a fucking nightmare. You give me a nightmare. The thing about realness and authenticity is when you're hearing it and when you're listening to it, it resonates with you. If you've been through certain stuff, like what the person's talking about, whatever the subject is. So when he's talking about prison, life, and all the stuff that comes with it. I had a dream that I got nicked. Oh, mate, for murder as well. Well, it was the worst. I was going through it in my dream. Woke up, I was well happy. Shit. Anyway, I've been thinking about Darren G's situation, everything about it, and all the other stuff. I called Darren G a grass at one stage. I mean, technically, he was a grass, but it's a derogatory term. I like the word cooperating with the police. That word I like. Grass, not so much. Anyway, let's have a little talk about Darren G. Then we're going to talk about Andrew Tate. We're going to talk about loads of stuff, people. Where I've been, what we got. Loads of shit to talk about. Loads of shit. Yeah? So, I'm thinking about the poor geezer situation now, yeah? If you don't know, there's a geezer called Willie Wonka. No, Willie Moore. Willie Moore. His name's Willie Moore. Now, that may be the kind of thing a dyslexic girl says when she wants some Willie, but it's not. That's actually a geezer from Liverpool. He's in jail at the moment doing a little sentence. When I say little, he's doing 30 years, so it's kind of big. But anyway, let's talk about Willie Moore. So Darren G's in a mad situation, yeah? And this guy, Willie Moore, tried to be a game player. Now, I want you guys to give me some answers as well in the chat, yeah? So make sure, listen to what I've got to say, give me some answers. You know what I mean? So this guy has basically set Darren G up. Like someone's tried to kill Darren G. You mostly know the story, but we're going to go over it anyway, so I can get my point across. And he's told Darren G, yeah, it's that guy over there, la. It's fucking him, la. It's the fucking emoji, la. So Darren G comes along, kills the emoji. Find out the emoji's innocent, and the geezer who told him the emoji's the killer, yeah, or tried to kill him, is the person that actually tried to kill Darren. So as Darren G's languishing in jail, thinking, shit, I'm going to be doing 30 years, he's talking to the geezer that he thought was his mate. This geezer then turns on him, shows his true colours and says, listen, I set you up. I tried to kill you. These are the reasons why. Nah, because of that, Willie Moore, his whole thing was he was fucking the geezer's bird, the emoji's bird. Willie Moore was fucking the emoji's bird. He wanted the emoji out the way and Darren G out the way. So he tried to kill two birds with one stone. But he was a game player. And you know, sometimes you got a plan. You got a plan, you got a game plan. You're following the game plan, everything's going right. But then something happens you don't even expect. Darren G turns informant. He fucking turns informant, people. Yeah, he cooperates with the police. Yeah. What would you do in that situation? Because I can sit here and be a sofa gangster. I sit here on my sofa and be like, you've got to stay strong. Nah. You got set up and all the other shit. But at the end of the day, that geezer wants to fucking set you up and try and first kill you, then get you 30 years. Do you have any loyalty to him? And if your criminal mates are turning against you as well, fuck it. Fuck it, innit? So I say to Darren G, you done the right thing, mate. Because life's a game. Life's a fucking game. And if someone wants to play with you, old Willy Wonka, who ends up in the chocolate factory, you know what I mean? Make sure you don't get that chocolate button popped. Anyway, yeah, that fella now, yeah, thought he could play games. And he thought, because criminals, look, this is the most stupid reason and thinking ever. Criminals are lazy. They are not necessarily lazy, but they're not following laws. They're not doing the right thing. So how the fuck are you going to say, right, I know you bunch of criminals don't follow the law, you do your own thing, but there's a bunch of rules that we follow. They clearly don't. Every time I went to jail was because of a grass, a police informant, police cooperator, whatever the situation was. Now, I'm not saying go commit crimes with your mates and then grass everyone up. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if someone tries to end your life and then makes you kill an innocent person and then tells you all about it as you're languishing in jail and laughing at you, do you have any loyalty to that geezer? Is it fair to say you were set up? Some bullshit? I think so, you know. I think Willy Wonka tried to play a game and he got himself put in his own chocolate factory for the next 30 years. And to be fair, the more I think about it, that's where that fucker deserves to be. Shout out to Willie Moore, Willy Wonka, whatever your name is. You deserve to be there. You have to have a little lesson, my old pal. Because one, you got an innocent geezer killed. Then you tried to kill Darren G, one of my favourite guys on YouTube. You tried to take out Darren G? Nah. So at the end of the fucking day, you reap what you sow. And if Willy Wonka didn't try and kill Darren G and then got Darren G to try and kill someone else, and then Darren G actually killed him, if he would have just kept his mouth shut instead of telling Darren all this stuff, Darren would have been none the wiser. But Willy Wonka couldn't keep his mouth shut, and he talked himself all the way and walked himself all the way into a 30-year jail sentence. And it took me a long time to get to this decision before I'd be like, nah, that's a wrong one, that's this, that's that. But Willy Wonka was a game player. So fuck it. You get what you got sometimes, mate. And you got yourself a 30-year sentence, me old boy. So Darren G, me old pal, I like you. I didn't like how you handled our mutual friend off YouTube, but that's between you and him. I don't need to get involved in that. I think you're all right, Daz. I think you're all right. Oh, another thing. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you, but guess who's buddies again? Guess who's Bonnie and Clyde? Who's two peas in the pod? Who's two crackheads in the phone box? Guess who? Me and Marvin Herbert. That's right. You heard it. Me and Marvin Herbert. We're friends again. I was at his house not too long ago. We had a little sit down. Yeah. And we squashed it. So shout out to you, Marv. Shout out to you, my boy. You know what I mean? So I'm doing. So if you want to know what I was on my break and all the other stuff, people, sometimes you can put on a pair of glasses. Not these fucking Tom Ford glasses, not these bad boys. No. A pair of glasses and a lens where everything is an enemy. You're looking in certain places and you're getting certain feedback. But that was never why I came on YouTube. Hey, do you know what? And I've got such a big audience. Shout out to fucking Jordan McCann's brother. What's his name? Is it Jerry McCann? Shout out to Jezza, my pal Jez. When my windows got smashed, they're still not fixed, you know. Hey, they're taking the piss. Hey, Camden Council. My windows still ain't fixed, bruv. Look, can you see it? They come and put some like sellotape on it. I'm like, why are you sellotaping my windows, bruv? I heard about the cost of living, but come on, man, at least change them. It's like, yeah, you'll be back in a couple months. We've got to save up for your windows. I'm like, you lot are taking the piss, mate. Anyway. Sorry, sidetracked back to it. Shout out to Jordan McCann's brother. When the windows got smashed, he reached out to me. A few other people reached out to me. And I always forget sometimes how big my audience is. Kind of what responsibility I've got and all the other stuff. So you know what I do? When I can't see my left from my right, when I'm in an angry state and I want to fucking... I just know I'm not thinking straight, yeah? Instead of jumping on camera and getting all angry, instead of doing this and that, I just took a break. And I'm a YouTube fan, just like you're a YouTube fan. And I like to react to stuff on YouTube. I like to talk about stuff and give you lot my opinion. And you lot seem to like to hear it. So shout out to you fucking lot. You lot, I know I've been gone 3 weeks and all the other stuff, yeah? But have you lot forgot about the like button? It's the little button with a thumbs up. It looks like this. Press the button that looks like that. Do it now. Don't be clicking the screen on my hand, you prick. Press the fucking button. You know what I'm talking about. Like the video. Anyway, so I took a break from YouTube. I said, you know what? Let me just chill. Let me relax. So I'm there relaxing and I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching stuff about Andrew Tate. I'm watching bits of Piers Morgan. I'm watching the world go crazy. I'm watching the Russian stuff. I'm watching so much stuff. And I'm building myself up again. I'm watching, like I say, Darren G, everything. So I'm building myself up again and I'm getting my identity. You know, sometimes you can lose yourself trying to please people, trying to react to this. Oh, it gets a lot. All you lot ain't YouTubers, trust me, it can get a lot. When you're watching it, it's fun. When you're living it, it's a little different. You know what I mean? Plus, I've got all the other normal life fucking things going on as well behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I have big respect living in London. Come on, Abby Brown. Appreciate you, baby girl. And see, sometimes, yeah, you got ideas. So you have a certain, I don't know, you talk to your friends in certain ways about certain subjects. But when you come on, well, when I come on YouTube, I go back into just certain areas instead of just really speaking what's on my mind. So that's what it is, people. I had to go rebrand a bit, rethink, and come back again. Huh. And you know what I missed? You know what I missed in this whole thing? This whole Andrew Tate thing. I never really paid attention to Andrew Tate like that. I listened to what people had to say on him. I read a few um what they called headlines about him, but I never, ever, ever, ever watched Andrew Tate. And the more I watched him, the more I fucking liked the geezer. Now, don't get it twisted. Rich people have a way. They sound arrogant the way they talk and all the other stuff. But if everything you was doing in life was working, and everything was going well, and you could go anywhere and do anything and buy anything, and you got so much attention from females and other people, and people are buying all your products, you will be feeling good too, and you will be full of yourself almost. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, at the beginning, Andrew Tate was a bit raw, but the more he comes out and the more he talks and the more he explains what he means, the guy talks a lot of sense, you know, a lot of sense, people. So I've been liking that whole situation. What I didn't like is how they cancelled him, though. What the fuck has Andrew Tate said that's so bad? Even if you don't agree with him. I was watching something about Andrew Tate. I was watching my mate. I'm like, oh, watch this geezer with me. He's fucking good. He's good. Within the first 5 minutes, he just ripped me to shreds. Not me personally, but my lifestyle. Talking about, listen, these are the people you avoid no matter what. Low value people. It's like if you got someone that wants to sit down, play video games all day, smoke weed, doesn't make money, full of excuses, all the other stuff, that's what you call low value people. You want to stay away from them people. They got nothing to offer you. Now, that's me in a nutshell. He's talking about me. Now, I can choose to do a couple things. I can get offended. I can turn it off. I can complain. I can write a comment. Or I can accept the truth. And sometimes, ladies, gentlemen, whatever it is, sometimes the truth may not be nice, but it's the fucking truth. And if it hits home and it's honest to you and you're thinking, that don't make me hate Andrew Tate because what he's saying is true. How I'm living is not how I want to be living. Do you understand? So we all get in our comfort zones, we all get in our slumps. We all think, fuck it, is it even worth trying to do this and do that? We all shit on our own dreams at times. But just because someone is in a better position than you, just because someone is saying something that personally hits and resonates with you in a bad way, it may not make you feel good, whatever. But if it's the truth, people, you've got to accept it. So I accept that shit. I don't hate the guy for like speaking honest, brutal truths at times. You know, it's hard. But if you don't want to watch him, if he offends you to the point where you're like, you know what, this fucking guy, blah, 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 just don't watch the guy. Just turn it off. Leave a negative comment if you really must. But why go to the extreme of getting someone cancelled? Why would you take their voice away? Why take their voice away in all this? Do you understand? Because if someone's talking shit and they're lying and everything they say doesn't make sense, all you got to do is point that out. There's no point in saying, no, this guy's lying and he's talking rubbish. So what we got to do is silence him so he can't talk rubbish and you guys can't hear it no more. It's almost like they're treating you guys like you're stupid. Like you ain't got a brain and you can't understand what's real, what's not. I don't know. I don't know, people, man. I just think the way the world is at the moment, the way things are going, it don't fill me with positivity at all. Looks like the world's going crazy. Everyone hates everyone. It's mad. Stardog's not real. Stardog's real, mate. Trust me. Sam Walker keeps exposing the jail system. Yes, Sam, top lad. Shout out to Sam Walker as well. Because at the end of the day, in my eyes, weed's not a drug. If you can get a seed, plant it in the ground, give it a bit of nice fucking plant food, give it a bit of sunlight, all of a sudden it starts budding and you can smoke the buds. I don't class that as a drug. I class that as nature, and we're just tweaking nature. The other stuff is a bit more extreme. But shout out to Sam Walker. They need to free him. All he got caught with was a bit of weed. You see how the system works, though, people. When they want to fuck you up, they will fuck you up. Now, let's talk about Andrew Tate again. When they took him off YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, they didn't just take him off that. They shut down these bank accounts in London, in England, rather. They shut down his what is it? His email. They shut down his payment processing methods. I'm telling you, this is weaponized. This is weaponized, and they can choose to go at Andrew Tate and take him down because a lot of people don't like what he says. He rubs a lot of people up the wrong way. You know, he can seem arrogant at times, and maybe he is arrogant at times. But that's still no reason to ban someone. That's still no reason to silence them. You know, trust me on that one. Cocaine isn't a drug either. That's from a plant too. It is from a plant, but you have to process it still. It don't come out of a plant all powdery and stuff. They have to make it into paste. They have to wash it up. They have to put loads of chemicals in it, and they have to do a whole load of process. But with weed, you literally plant it in the ground, and it just grows. You know. Conor Ben drug cheat. Thoughts, Lazar? All right. Let's talk about Conor Ben then, eh? Old Conor Ben. Now, I'm not too much of a boxing fan. I love Tyson Fury. I love who else is a good. I like Usyk as well. You know, I think he's got character, personality, and he represents himself well. You know when he says to the camera, "I am Phil." How do you feel today? I am Phil. hey, hey! Shout out to Payne, my G. Shout out to you, Payne. Come on, love always, my bro. But yeah, so anyway, we're talking about Conor Ben right now. Maybe he was pressured into it. We all know about the rivalry their fathers had, old Ben and Eubank. So maybe there was a pressure on the boy. I don't know. We've got to wait for the B sample to come. But maybe there was pressure on him. Because even though Eubank was cutting weight, he's still a big guy for Ben. So it could have just been pressure and all the other stuff. Or maybe he's pregnant. Maybe he's fucking pregnant, people. We don't know. No, by the end of the day, it's not a good look for the sport. And who thinks this? Who thinks this, people? Come on now. Listen now, yeah? Who thinks we should have boxing where there's no drug cheats at all? Me. But I also think there should be boxing where you can be juiced up to the max. You're allowed to take drugs, and so's your thingy. Imagine that. You're watching two super up guys fighting and they're talented and all the other stuff. I'd love to see that. I'd pay to see that. Come on. But yeah, it's kind of with that boxing like doping thing, I don't know, man. It's like how much extra advantage you're gonna get from getting extra testosterone. You might be able to punch harder, but if the guy's got more skill, I don't know. I don't really know, but it's not the worst thing that's happening. Listen, we got that, yeah, but we've also got like the possibility of nuclear war. Let's talk about nuclear war, people, and how Sky News and everyone just says, yeah, so Vladimir Putin, do you think he's going to nuke the world? Do you think he's going to nuke people? And then like, the interview will be like, I don't know, 50-50 really, isn't it? He's a bit of a madman, so he could do. I know what we should do. We should send more English weapons and we should help his enemy even more. Let me tell you something. They're mugging all of us off. All of us. All of you. All of me. All of us. We're all getting mugged off here, people, now, yeah? Do you know why the energy bills are so expensive? Do you know why they're so expensive? Because there's a war in Russia. And instead of getting Russia's gas, yeah, instead of getting the energy that we've been getting for years, we see an opportunity to disrupt Russia and all the other stuff. And just remember, this is all about natural resources. This is all about natural resources. This is about pipelines and shit. That's why the Russian pipeline got blew up the other day. They're like, yeah, the Russians blew up their pipeline. Really? All they got to do is turn the switch off and then there's no more gas. Why are they going to blow up their own pipeline they've been laying for the last few years? And America, on the other hand, they want a pipeline. America want to sell Europe expensive gas. Russia's like, nah, man, I've got some cheap gas over here. I've got loads of it. You lot can get it for the cheap. Yeah, but what about Ukraine? Ukraine, don't worry about that. That's my neighboring country. Yeah. We can't have that. We're going to give them weapons to fight you. Bro, we are getting fucked over because politicians want something to do in Europe. Do you know This is a major thing, people. And I want you to take this theme. Don't just believe an old stoner YouTuber like me, yeah? Actually look for yourself. World Bank. Is it World Banks? It's not fucking World Banks. It's, it's state bank. So we got Bank of England. The Americans have got the Federal Reserve. See these things here, they lend money to the government and all the other stuff. They give money to the government. Russia don't have that. So Russia can't be fucked with in that way. All the other countries, they get loans from the IMF. And then the IMF give them the loans knowing they can't pay it back. And then they say, all right, what you got to do is privatize all your stuff. And they're looking around like, privatize everything. What? That's how you pay back the loan. And that's how the companies get in. But Russia's staying firm. They cracked a little bit. Russia cracked a little bit, yeah, when in the 80s, when the Soviet Union got broke up, and that's how Ukraine got created. Ukraine weren't around 30, 40 years ago. It only got created because Russia got broke up by the West. But then Russia regrouped, and now the West are trying it again. And we are paying for it, people. You and me. And we're bruv, it's such a myth. It's such a myth what's going on right now. The possibility of nuclear war. Everything is really, really, really expensive. A country at war. The only people getting rich here are the people who own gun companies, who are sanctions, and who own energy companies. Because American Energy want to sell it to Europe. They can't sell it to Europe because Russia already sell it to Europe. So they've created this fake problem. They can stop Russian gas, which they have. And now we're saying, shit, we all might be cold. Hey, it's going to be winter in a couple months. This is all designed and set up for us to be like, oh, for them fucking Russians, we need gas from somewhere. America's like, well, I've got some gas. Trust me, people. And have you noticed everyone's going on strike? Everyone's going on strike. Why the fuck is everyone going on strike? If working is working out so well for people, why is everyone refusing to work? And I mean everyone. See, I'm just ahead of the curve, people. You know what I mean? Because listen to this now, yeah? You got solicitors. My mate has been in jail nearly 2 years on remand. Every time he goes to get sentenced, the barrister's never there. Barrister's on strike. This person's on strike. That person's on strike. The whole criminal system is falling to pieces around you. Trust me. Ambulances, yeah? Nurses, lawyers, train drivers, bus drivers. We have got the working man, the everyday man, your family and my family. They're getting fucked over so much that working isn't even working anymore. How the fuck is that a situation when working doesn't work anymore? What are you doing working? How's that going for you? It's not working, mate. All right, carry on working then, mate. Huh? No. People, no. The system is rigged. And the more it gets rigged, the more the top get a lot and the bottom get fuck all. Fuck all. And is it by design or is it just by greedy people being greedy? The more I look at the world, the more I just sit back and look at how things are. It feels like it's by design, people. It feels like certain things are being created, certain narratives are being set, so we think a certain way. I'm going to say something now, yeah? Now, this may sound mad, but it's something that I'm thinking. And it may be true, it may be not. But if I'm too scared to even say it, then you're not going to get nowhere. See, back in the day, yeah? I'm talking about 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, all that other shit now, yeah? There was a lot less divorce. Women had a lot less rights, but there was a lot less divorce. The more women got empowered and became 50-50 with men, the more divorce there was and the other stuff. And see, as I'm listening to Andrew Tate, he says the man has to be the leader in the relationship. The man has to be the one that leads the family in the right direction. He has to be making money. He has to be a breadwinner. He has to be protecting the family and all the other stuff. He can't just be a waster. But that's the job of a man. The woman's job is to make everything run smoothly, raise the family. But as that changes and as the dynamic of everything changes like that, does that fuck up relationships? Is that why so many people are single? Is that why so many relationships and so much stuff, like marriages and all the other stuff, like they crumble and divorce are on the rise? Is it because men and women are equal now? Now, I'm not saying that men and women aren't equal, but in a relationship, is there a structure to it? Is there a structure to a relationship, or is it you get into the relationship and it's 50-50? As I was listening to Andrew Tate, it actually made me think, it doesn't seem fair, really, but fuck fair for a minute. Let's take fair out of the equation. Does it work? And if you go by the numbers, I've always heard that divorce is on the rise, year on year, decade on decade. So maybe, just maybe, that as people in relationships are equal, and as women are going out all the time and doing all this other stuff, and as this thing even does it make sense to be fair in a relationship? That's what I'm asking in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Because at first I thought back in the day it was all wrong, but back in the day there was a lot more family, there was a lot more community, there was a lot more glue that kept people together. Now people just have kids and that's it done. That's I'm guilty of that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? It just feels like now, and even the women, they're like, "Fuck you, I don't need you. Fuck you, all this other stuff." I just think, as a society, as the glue to all this other shit, yeah, certain things have to be in place, you know. And male suicide is on the fucking is skyrocketing. You heard that, right? Males are killing themselves at a crazy rate. My dad killed himself, so I'm personally been affected by this suicide stuff. But is the man's purpose, is the man's place in this world being taken out? Are all the alpha males being stamped out and they're creating a generation of these beta males that just watch the TV and are very compliant? I don't know. Because soon enough, with all these wars and the way technology is going, there's not even going to be no use for no soldiers. It's going to be fucking robots and tanks and drones against another country's robots, tanks, and drones. And they're just going to be a bunch of chubby beta males hiding in the fucking attic somewhere. I don't know, people. I don't know. It's just watching Andrew Tate, he does raise some good questions. He actually does. Let me get into the comments, have a little look-see-wooksy what you lot are saying. Smash it in. I'm all good, people. Sawyer boys everywhere. Trust me, mate. Yeah, so people, like, it's crazy how narratives can be set when we're young and we don't even know it. This is another thing. Another thing. And they all lived happily ever after. They all lived happily ever after. Who the fuck did? Who the fuck lived happily ever after? Because my dad killed himself. My mum's still struggling in the same council flat that I grew up in and the only one she's ever been in. My nan's in Clacton, away from everyone, just doing her own thing. But she's old now and all the other stuff. So who the fuck lives happily ever after? That's another thing. Not many people. Maybe the rich. Maybe the rich live happily ever after. But people like you and me, we struggle on a day-to-day basis. Our people struggle. And even if you do well, even if you seem to be afloat, your people you love can be on drugs, people can get arrested, people can be victims of crime. There's so much other stuff that goes on. So who is living happily ever after? And why should we tell our children in all these books and they all live happily ever after? It is one way of breaking down a child's barriers, making the child think that, you know what, this world's all good. It doesn't make the child feel fear or anything. It makes them feel relaxed. It puts their defenses down. About 7 years later, 8 years later, we're sending that same kid to a fucking war in Iraq or some other stuff. And then he gets his legs blown off, and that cunt ain't living happily ever after. Do you get it? So sometimes when you see this stuff, it sounds nice. It sounds nice, but is it really working in the real world? And to be fair, I would love to live happily ever after. But happiness is not a state of mind. Happiness is not a prolonged thing. You're not happy all day, every day for 2, 3 weeks solid. It's little moments in your life that create happiness and in that moment. But then you still got to crack on with everyday shit. You know what I mean? So that happy ever after shit always rubbed me the wrong way. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, who lives happily ever after? No one I know, mate. We're all struggling. I'm sure. And if you're not struggling, well, more power to you. You're doing the right thing. But me and my people and people around me, we're struggling. Struggling. Not just financially, but spiritually, mentally. So many people are lost in this world. So many people don't know what's going on. Me included. Me included, people. You know? So, yeah. Is it by design or is it just things that happen? The more I'm looking at the world, the more I see, and the more I look back on how things have been in the past, it is starting to feel like it's by design, like they're creating this stuff. And listen, people. Anyone out there that enjoys canceling someone, that thinks someone should be silenced because what they say, that is only how they start it. That is how they start it. The next step has already been implemented. It has happened right in front of your eyes. The government don't give a fuck about you, even if it is the government. Whoever's creating this stuff, yeah, don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about me. Don't give a fuck about my kids, your kids, Ukrainians, Russians, immigrants. Nothing. They give a fuck about consolidating power. So when you want to cancel someone and when you want to shut someone up, just remember the end game of that is to keep your children stupid. It's to keep your children conformative to the system. It doesn't benefit them. It doesn't benefit you or your family or your community, but it makes you conform to the system. I knew this when I was young. That's why I always rebelled. There was always something in me that just didn't feel right about this whole fucking thing that they're trying to farm us all into. Yeah. So when they cancel at Andrew Tate, at Alex Jones, even a right wing Nazi, whatever the situation is, yeah, whatever the situation is, you cannot cheer on and you cannot accept cancellation in any form because what they end up doing, they use those people as examples, but then they start picking wars. They start doing things in different parts of the world. And before you could get this guy commenting on it, this guy talking about it, you could get this organization, you could get this country's point of view, that country's point of view. But slowly but surely, they cut them off under the guise of fake news, under the guise of you're not adult enough. You are not adult enough to understand or tell when something is bullshit or not. The government need to go through it and show you and only allow you what they think is acceptable. That's what the end goal of censorship and cancellation is. The ability to stop the other side story. Now imagine you go to there's a fight happening in the street. You're like, hey, what's going on? Like, you're trying to sort it out, whatever, or you're trying to find out what's going on. But you can only hear one person's side of it. Do you think, and that one person said, listen, I'm the truth teller. You got to listen to me. You got to listen to me. Don't worry about those lot over there. Yeah, because they're wrong ones and they incite violence. So you need to hear my side of things. You're only going to get one side of it. You're never going to see the full version of events. And that's what cancellation's about, people. So with Andrew Tate, with all these other stuff, you don't have to agree with them. You can call them cunts. You have the right to say that. You have the right to formulate that opinion in your head. But cancellation and all that other stuff, come on, man. You're not that much of a pussy. You're not that much of a idiot. You're not that weak to be like, this person's talking stuff I don't agree with online. We need to censor him. I'm telling you, people, it's crazy. Good to see you back. Come on, Sam H. My cousin Lazar with his last 4 teeth out. Facts. Come on. Yes, people, help me find the truth. But DMT made me realize I know nothing. Yeah, DMT. I'm going to try that DMT as well. Come on. And see, with. All right, hear this. Hear this. Hear this. This is another thing that I can't understand, that I don't get. And maybe you lot in the comments, or maybe if you're watching this, you can comment later on it, whatever the situation is let me know. Give me some awareness here of what the right thing to do is in this situation. See, you might see 100-year-old Nazi. 100 years old. He's 100 years old. He's all foul. There's like, this guy was a Nazi when he was 18. Guard at a concentration camp where 2 million Jews were exterminated. So we need to press charges on this geezer because he was a Nazi. That geezer is no different to any one of you or me. How can he be? If your country's at war, do you say, nope, sorry, you're all wrong? You're all wrong here. You're all wrong. And I'm going to do the right thing. You're doing the wrong thing, guys. The Americans and the English, those are the good guys. No, you're too young. You have no power. You follow orders. The system is designed for us to follow orders. So when these Germans are following orders of their politicians, they don't know they're Nazis. They just know they're following all these other shit. They're following rules. They're being told what to do, and like a good citizen in that country, they're doing it. They lose the war, and all of a sudden they become criminals. Is that fair? Because if it is, how can you ever tell who's right and who's wrong? Because by definition, the right person or the winner is the right person. It doesn't mean they're right. It just means they've won the war and they decide and they determine the dialogue of it. So, you know, when you're cancelling people, when you're doing all this other stuff, it has big effects. And these people don't give a. Do you think these fuckers give a shit about Ukrainians? Ukrainians, man. Like, see for me personally, this is going to sound mad, but I'm going to say it. Okay, no, I'm going to ask the question. Are Ukrainians traitors? Are Ukrainians traitors? I'm going to ask the question. Because there was once a massive state called the USSR, yeah? It got broke up by America and the West because it was too big and powerful. And that's how Ukraine and all these other fucking Eastern European countries came about. Before it was just Russian state, yeah? But see, when I'm watching these Ukrainians, see, when I listen to them talk, they just sound like how Russians talk. They got Russian accents. They got blonde hair, blue eyes. They fucking look like Russians, mate. But because the West, our government, put a line through Russia and said, no, 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 that's Ukraine now. People was like, what? We're not Russian no more. We're Ukraine. All right, say no more. We're Ukraine. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you. Did you know? Did you know this fun fact? See Kiev or Kiev, wherever it is in Ukraine. That used to be the capital of Russia. Never used to be Moscow, used to be Kiev. So this is important things to Russia. We don't give a shit about it. I had to fucking watch all this stuff to find out about it. But I know when I'm being bullshitted. I know when something ain't right. Liz Truss. Let's talk about Liz Truss. Do you trust Liz Truss? I don't trust Liz Truss. I don't trust Liz Truss, people. I do not trust her. Hmm? Where the fuck? And the other black geezer. Who the fuck is this geezer? They got some black geezer. Before they got the Asian geezer, I'd never seen him before. And he's like, yes, I'm the new chancellor or some shit. Now they got this black geezer with glasses fucking everything up. Like, who are these people? You know, yeah? Instead of having powerful leaders, Instead of having kings and queens and all the other shit, we got billionaires and businessmen. And these billionaires and businessmen, they control our politicians and politics. They decide who gets elected and all the other stuff. Cool. So because they decide who gets elected and who, Boris Johnson was our prime minister. I can remember about 4 years ago watching Boris Johnson on Soccer Aid diving in and fouling someone. Have you seen the Soccer Aid of Boris Johnson? Oh my God. And that guy was going to run our country 4 years later. They only put in people they can control and trust. And Liz Truss is not a friend of the people at all. She is for big business. She is for taking from the public taxpayer money and giving it to the rich corporation energy companies. That's all they want to do. And the reason why democracy don't work in a nutshell is because it takes away accountability. Every couple years, there's a new politician in the same position. It's just shuffling around. So you can't actually hold someone accountable for the last 10 years. Said, look, in the last 10 years, what have we actually done? Oh, no, you know what? We're going to fire him, get someone else in. Fire him, get someone else in. I think if you decide to run the country and you fuck up in a bad way, there should be consequences. There should be repercussions. You get it? Come on. Do a topic on Decca Hegarty having a meltdown. No, I'm not talking about that, bro. Like, I ain't talking about all that other stuff anymore. We're talking about real events. These are the real events that affect us all. All that other shit is a circus. And you know the electricity bills are going up this month. This month, your electricity bills are going up. They're fucking us, mate. They are fucking us. You know what I mean? Proper fucking us, people. Your energy bills are going up because there is a war. And do you know, like Russia want to stop this war. Russia are saying we will come to the negotiating table. Ukraine are the ones saying no. Ukraine would have been squashed ages ago if it weren't for the taxpayer that all you lot, our parents, our kids, and all the other stuff are putting in. We're sending it to another country so they can fight Russia. Are you happy with that? Are you glad that when you go to work and you pay your taxes, they are then sending that money over to Ukraine so they can go and buy guns and shoot at Russians? Ukraine can never win that war. All they can do is piss Russia off. That's all they can do. America knows that. Europe knows that. I know that. So what the fuck is going on? Seriously, what's going on? And why do we have to suffer for it? Why? Because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about me. Listen, there is no difference, people. If you have the logic of judge someone by their actions and not their words, you cannot look at your government no different. No different. No fucking different. Telling you, people. And it's not just about criminals, because the people that really care, the people that keep this country going, the nurses, the lawyers, so many of the pillars of our community, train drivers, bus drivers, school teachers, everything, they are all going on strike because they are not getting paid enough money. At the same time, we're sending money to other countries to fight wars. At the same time, we're not paying our own people enough money, but yet we care about enough about other people to send them money for guns to go and possibly die. Judge it by the actions, not their fucking words. We are no better, yeah, than a bully in a schoolyard. We're no better. We've got all the power and we're flexing our muscles. Name a problem Europe and America weren't a part of. Just name one problem. Name a problem. There ain't. Every problem there is about Europeans and it's about American interference. And overseas policy, whatever they call it. And you're telling me in every single occasion we're the good guys. We're the guys making shit. Right. Our own country's fucked. Fucked. We ain't even got youth clubs that are open enough. Youth clubs are getting closed down. Everything, the price of everything's going up. But don't worry, because those Ukrainians have got guns in their hands and they've got drones and they've got tanks. So don't worry, pay your extra money. Don't worry that you can't afford stuff for your kids. Don't worry about your working and you literally can only pay for food and rent. And sometimes you can't even cover those basic essentials. And the repeaters out there will be like, get a job, pay your taxes, do this. Pay your taxes to do what? If those taxes are really 99.9%, 100% invested back into England, cool. But when like 20% is getting invested back into England and they're sending money over here doing this, who the fuck are we building all these weapons for? Who are we building them for? Fucking Muhammad and Ali in the desert. Fucking AK. And I hate fucking the West. I hate this guy. I hate that guy. Fucking, who are we making all these weapons for? We're making all these weapons so we can keep facilitating, keep maintaining. Like when everyone's scattered and everyone's worried and no one can trust everyone, then everyone's easier to control. Do you get it? And that's what's going on now, people. And that's when I look at the world. It gets me depressed sometimes when I look at the world. Fucking gets me depressed. Yo, Peanut Head, did you ever get your window fixed, bruv? So imagine this now, yeah? Imagine this now. I told the council, yo, come fix the windows. They're like, yeah, cool. They sent me a text and we're coming in November. I said, what? You lot are moving like Wycliffe. I'll be gone till November. No. It's freezing. The energy bills are going up. You lot are taking the fucking piss. Come fix me windows. But anyway, November, they said. They said, we got to save up. Cost of living. We got to save up for your windows. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, geez Louise. Country's falling apart. Country's falling apart. But let me tell you this, though. Let me tell you this. Your sacrifice is worth it. Your discomfort, your family's discomfort, the country's discomfort is worth it. What am I talking about? What's it worth it? It's worth it to the rich people. If they can break Russia, if they can get a bank in Russia, like a head bank in Russia that loans to the government. I can't remember what it's fucking called, but I'll remember it, yeah. And if they can stop Russia from supplying Europe, imagine you're a drug dealer. Europe are buying loads of drugs. They're not buying it off of you. They're buying it off someone you don't like. They're just fucking up that guy's thing. That's all they're doing. And if there's 10 years of discomfort, if there's 10 years of war, conflict, and all the other stuff, but at the end of it, Russia is broken, America has a pipeline to Europe, then it's a win. Then everything can go back to normal. Then it can be happily ever after. Not for you and me, we're working to the day we fucking die. Or we're hustling and we're struggling and we're surviving to the day we die. But it's happily ever after for the fucking billionaires and the people that have implemented this system to keep us in the way we are. And that's the fucking truth of it, people. That is the truth of it. And I can talk about all these idiots on YouTube and all the other stuff, but I like reacting to stuff. I like talking to you lot. I like asking questions. I like, you know. So that's what we're gonna do, mate. Oh, we're working. My HDMI port has come loose on my TV. There's two Lazars. Come on, two's better than one, mate. Two's better than one. So let me tell you, people. Let me fucking tell you. I like the video if you ain't peeps. Like the video. Come on. You as adults, as People that have lived on this earth for 30 years. You've been here maybe 40 years, maybe 50, 60 years, whatever the situation is, maybe 20 years, whatever it is, yeah? You don't have the brain capacity to understand what's right and what's wrong. So someone like Andrew Tate or Alex Jones, they may influence you in a negative way. So because you're a fucking idiot, I'm talking to all of you, all 255 of you, because you lot are fucking idiots, yeah, and you're basically incapable of making decisions for yourself. The government has to filter it for you guys, and me. They have to filter it for you and me to make sure that we are protected from dangerous people like Andrew Tate, Alex Jones, whoever the situation is. But there's a flip side to that coin, people. There's a flip side. And that flip side is your kids can listen to all the rap gangster music they want. They can go and watch porn. They can go and do all this stuff. They can go and drink alcohol. They can go and have kids and they can do whatever they want. And you don't have a say in it. They can do what they want. They can fucking change themselves from a girl to a boy. They can do literally what they want. They can listen to all that gangster, kill this person, fuck this guy's bitch, rob this guy, do that, sell these drugs, do. They are perfectly fine to see what's entertainment and what's reality. They're fine. But you guys, not so much. So we gotta just cancel the Andrew Tates and let all the rappers and all the other stuff just happen. You know what I mean? Trust me. Telling you, people, telling you. It just don't make sense. It's like the world's just gone upside down. But I've been here an hour, people. A fucking hour. Did you miss me? Do you like this type of content? Let me know in the comments. I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Fuck off. Go to one of them other cunts. Yeah? From now on, we're talking about actual events in the world, stuff that's going on, stuff that can affect us and does affect us on a daily basis, all of us, whether you know it or not. I know escapism is good sometimes and we can all have a laugh. When someone fucks up online, we're definitely going to have a laugh about it. But that's not going to be what all of our content's about. That's not going to be the meat and potatoes of this channel. The meat and potatoes of this channel is all these current events, what's going on in the world, and just spectating and commenting on things that I think are relevant. So anyway, people, it's your boy living in London. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I love you guys. I really fucking do. And thank you to everyone that sent me nice messages. Shout out to all you lot that just keep me on YouTube. Because I'm telling you, if none of you lot message me, I don't know if I'd come back sometime. But you lot, you lot, you lot, you've given me a responsibility and I like it sometimes. You know what I mean? So anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share. And I've got some, I'm not even going to say what I've got. Something's coming anyway. Peace, love. See you tomorrow. Bye.